Bom dia, estamos ao vivo aqui. Estamos hoje com uma missão muito importante da I2AI. Hoje nós vamos apresentar uma parceria que será apresentada durante todo o ano, no sentido de que vamos trazer uma comunidade da Turquia. Vamos trazer exatamente, nós teremos daqui a alguns instantes, né, o nosso grande homenageado, que será o Halil Aksu, que vai nos trazer essas inovações, e nós vamos fazendo um esquenta aqui, né, para que a gente possa falar um pouco de como nós chegamos nessa parceria, e para isso nós estamos aqui com o nosso diretor, Simoni, nós estamos com o Fernando, que é o coordenador exatamente dessa área de IA e de empresas, e nós estamos com o Luca Campanha, que é nosso associado, que vai nos apresentar também esse ecossistema, o que nós esperamos, quais são as expectativas disso, e será um prazer, daqui a pouco nós vamos fazer um turn na nossa chavinha e passar para o inglês, mas por enquanto é só um aquecimento em português para que a gente possa trazer essa expectativa. Então eu gostaria de passar a palavra então para o Fernando, que já esteve inicialmente com eles para falar das nossas expectativas. Bom dia, Fernando.
Bom dia, Viviane, bom dia, Jeff, bom dia, Lucas, bom dia a todas e todos vocês que nos acompanham pelo YouTube e que nos assistirão também posteriormente. Um prazer estar aqui para falar sobre essa iniciativa da Associação Internacional de Inteligência Artificial, a I2AI, na expansão das suas atuações, principalmente olhando os ecossistemas internacionais e iniciamos justamente com o da Turquia, né? A Turquia, como todos sabem, é a grande ponte entre o Oriente e o Ocidente, então tem o seu lado, o seu pezinho ali no Oriente, Oriente Médio, e também o seu pé na Europa, permitindo com que possam ser abertas essas oportunidades de cooperação, de aprendizado e também de negócios entre empresas e profissionais brasileiros, empresas e profissionais turcos, e com isso promover essa colaboração. A TRAI, né, TRAI, é uma iniciativa turca que desde 2017 busca fomentar as ações, o desenvolvimento da inteligência artificial no mercado e na Turquia. Hoje, são mais de 90 empresas associadas, já possuem um ecossistema de mais de 400 startups, são mais de 250 stakeholders ou entidades que, de alguma maneira, estão ali agregadas com o objetivo de discutir, fomentar e aplicar a inteligência artificial. E nós iniciamos essa parceria justamente com o objetivo de promover essa cooperação. Um dos primeiros resultados que nós teremos é a aplicação em português e espanhol de uma pesquisa que foi feita na Turquia, que nós trazemos agora para o Brasil, com o objetivo de também replicá-la baseada e adequada às nossas necessidades aqui no Brasil, de tal maneira que nós possamos compartilhar e comparar essas informações, até para ver e entender estágios de desenvolvimento e onde que nós podemos trazer as nossas expertises para eles e vice-versa. Também é importante dizer que a Turquia, como país convidado do BRICS, pode ser também um canal para que as portas se abram aos demais países que hoje fazem parte desse conglomerado comercial e de desenvolvimento.
Muito bom, Fernando. Uma coisa interessante, acabei de falar com o Halil, né, já daqui 10 minutos, acho que agora um pouquinho menos, 10 minutos ele vai estar com a gente, está fechando algumas coisas lá na Turquia, mas legal a gente fazendo essa abertura em português. A questão que o Fernando falou desse contato internacional, não sei se todos sabem, mas a gente tem uma ótima conexão com os Estados Unidos e a Califórnia, né? Nós temos Brasília AI, uma comunidade lá que a gente ajudou aí o Eugênio, quem conhece o Eugênio, juntos lá a gente criou essa comunidade. Então, junto com a comunidade já estabelecida lá na Califórnia, e agora também essa na Turquia, e que queremos na Europa também, a ideia nossa é fomentar bastante essa nossa relação internacional. Inclusive, nós estamos agora o novo triênio, né, de diretoria, e vai ser, sem dúvida, uma das prioridades. E falando nisso, né, eu gostaria, então, de passar para vocês o Luca, para ele falar algumas palavras para vocês.
Bom dia, Jeff, Viviane, Fernando, a todos que estão nos assistindo. Eu venho de uma carreira um pouco diferente, né? Trabalhei no mercado público por mais de 15 anos, e dessa atuação surgiu uma grande paixão e um conhecimento um pouco mais profundo sobre pessoas. E já tem algum tempo de atuação junto com o Fernando, né, que partiu de Smart Cities, de cidades inteligentes, e hoje tem sido focado em outras frentes, sempre trazendo, né, a importância do ser humano, a importância das tecnologias, da inovação, centrada e focada no ser humano como o grande, como é que nós vamos dizer aqui? O ator principal e por meio de qual nós vamos trabalhando com tudo, né? É uma honra estar aqui, fazer parte da I2AI e poder aí trabalhar fortemente para a gente fazer a democratização do uso da IA, um uso consciente, um uso estratégico para o nosso país, para os nossos negócios. Bom dia para a gente e vamos falar bastante aí hoje.
Muito bom. Enquanto nós aguardamos, nós vamos falar um pouquinho da questão da I2AI também. Para quem ainda não nos conhece, fica o convite para que esteja sempre conosco, acompanhe nossas redes sociais. Nós trazemos sempre conteúdo de muita importância por demonstrar justamente o que o Luca trouxe, né? Nós temos essa importância de estar centrado no ser humano, mas trazendo tecnologia de todas as áreas. Então, a I2AI, ela se orgulha de ser uma associação que já tem muito tempo de estrada, com pessoas multidisciplinares. Eu sou advogada, temos marketing, temos todas as áreas, empresários, nós temos justamente academia, para que nós possamos sentar na mesma mesa e falar sobre a inteligência artificial do modo que tem que ser falado. Para isso também nós temos nossos comitês específicos, que nós tratamos de saúde, nós tratamos de educação. Então, dentro dos próprios comitês, nós temos essas discussões mais aprofundadas daquele tema que nós estamos tratando. Então, fica aí reforçando o convite para que visite o nosso site. Nós temos glossário. As pessoas às vezes têm dificuldade hoje de conceitos básicos. Então, você pode fazer esse retorno dos conceitos básicos que nós temos. Nós temos os blogs e, principalmente, cursos e eventos que possam trazer pessoas que atuem com a inteligência artificial, que estão estudando sobre a inteligência artificial, estão pensando o futuro da inteligência artificial, né? Nossa sociedade está passando por uma grande transformação e não é de agora. Então, esse acompanhamento é importante para que nós tenhamos isso em mente, né? Então, Jeff e Fernando, Luca, gostaria que vocês falassem um pouco dessa questão. Quando nós trazemos uma outra comunidade, como nós estamos trazendo hoje da questão da Turquia, da importância, né, de verificar essa cultura e trazer a cultura também da IA para o nosso país.
Não, muito bom. O que eu gostaria de colocar agora, é só adicionando o foco nosso, né, acho que é um foco na parte a educação é muito importante, como o Luca falou. Inclusive nós temos, né, o Comitê de Educação, né, que é focado nisso, né. Nós temos o de governança, inclusive a gente participa bastante, toda a parte ligada a isso, né? E, lógico, ligado à questão de startups, de empreendedorismo e tudo mais. Então, acho que é muito legal isso. E quando a gente faz uma parceria, a gente tenta ver nesses aspectos o que a gente pode ajudar. E aí, né, nesse ponto, eu acho que é legal, porque o Fernando, inclusive, participou do Summit lá uma semana atrás. O Halil convidou a gente para estar lá no Summit, foi um grande orgulho da gente estar lá junto, e o Fernando nos representou. Então, Fernando, está adiantando, porque a questão foi realmente com o Halil, foi a questão de horário, né, da Turquia daqui, por isso que deu uma certa confusão, ele já está entrando. Mas a gente já está conversando com o Halil como vai ser essa nossa parceria, o que a gente deseja dessa parceria. Então, o Fernando poderia dar um pouco mais, falar um pouco como que foi essa participação lá no Summit lá da Turquia e como você está vendo essa parceria agora lá da Turquia, que na verdade é a Turquia, mas é mais que isso, né? Por isso falar um pouquinho mais, mas o Fernando pode avançar um pouco nisso. Fernando, obrigado.
Sem dúvidas, Jeff, obrigado pela menção. Sim, participamos, né, recentemente, coisa de 3 semanas, se não me engano, no AI Summit, que é um evento anual realizado pela TRAI na Turquia, um evento de 2 dias, onde não apenas trocam-se informações, mas também apresentam-se as possibilidades. Eu não preciso dizer, todos aqui já sabemos, a inteligência artificial não é algo recente, a gente fala sobre isso. Em 1956, lá em Dartmouth, quando John McCarthy pela primeira vez cunhou esse termo, completa no ano que vem 70 anos, né? Foi num evento ali entre junho e agosto, durante o verão nos Estados Unidos, em Dartmouth, que fica no estado de Massachusetts. E desde então, obviamente, a IA, passando por verões e invernos, vem se implementando e se usando cada vez mais. E, obviamente, com a chegada dos modelos de linguagem, com a chegada da IA generativa, isso entra no vocabulário de praticamente todas as pessoas em qualquer lugar do mundo. Então, essa iniciativa junto à Turquia tem o objetivo de entender o que se faz lá, entender o que se faz aqui e, ao invés de reinventar a roda, como essa cooperação pode acontecer. Além disso, o mesmo modelo, uma vez dando sucesso ou tendo sucesso, replica-se a outras regiões. Então, recentemente, também em conversas com entidades similares na Argentina, no Chile, no Uruguai, na Colômbia, no México, fazem com que nós possamos expandir essa visão e, mais do que isso, trazer essas novas possibilidades, esses exemplos, esses bons casos de uso e também aqueles pelos quais ou com os quais devemos nos preocupar para o Brasil. E vice-versa, levar isso para lá também, levar da nossa experiência, olhando para o mercado da América do Sul. Sem dúvida, o Brasil é o principal mercado, é onde existe um ecossistema mais maduro, e tudo isso se traduz em oportunidades. Oportunidades de aprendizado, oportunidades de relacionamento e networking, oportunidades de negócios, para todos os lados que se envolvem. Então, o nosso principal objetivo é, ao criar essas condições e esses laços internacionais, aprender e gerar também oportunidades de negócios. Tá no mudo, Jeff.
Desculpa, Fernando, quando você fala aí de negócios com a Turquia e tudo mais, e você teve experiência na Ásia, né? Como que você vê a questão do ecossistema da Ásia, da sua experiência lá, e como você acha que essa relação com a Turquia vai ajudar isso? Inclusive que, né, quando a gente fala da Ásia, fala da Turquia, a gente pode lembrar do BRICS, né? E a questão, claro, que a gente não pode deixar de pensar, né? Quando você está falando aí de nós com a Turquia e, de repente, a proximidade, o Halil vai falar um pouquinho sobre isso, de uma aproximação também com outros países, com a Rússia e tudo mais, a gente começa também a ter essa ajuda desse trabalho com o BRICS. Então, você pode falar um pouquinho da sua experiência lá e como você vê a Turquia ajudando a gente aí a avançar num território que a gente não tem tanta experiência assim?
Claro. Bom, na verdade, a minha experiência veio da Ásia e Oriente Médio, então, durante muitos anos eu morei ali no Oriente Médio e muitas vezes, inclusive, passei e estive na Turquia, tanto a negócio como por passagem, também para o Brasil, então, conheço um pouco daquele ambiente e a estratégia por trás da iniciativa de começarmos algo com a Turquia vem das similaridades. Ou seja, a Turquia tem demandas, necessidades, problemas que estão relacionados a segmentos industriais, a segmentos do agronegócio, que muito se assemelham àquelas necessidades, demandas e dificuldades que nós temos aqui no Brasil. Então, o fato de iniciarmos essa conversa com a Turquia deve-se à questão de que, poxa, temos problemas similares, temos demandas similares e como podemos trabalhar de forma cooperativa para mutuamente se ajudar a resolver essas dificuldades, a criar condições e inovações que neste caso estejam baseadas no uso da inteligência artificial como ferramenta para chegarmos a problemas ou a soluções para esses problemas. Então, a ideia parte disso. E da mesma forma, sendo a Turquia uma grande ponte entre o Oriente e o Ocidente, fica facilitada a abertura da porta para esse mercado que é tão promissor, de onde vem e temos muito desenvolvimento e que permite justamente esse compartilhamento de informações, esse aprendizado mútuo e essa geração de oportunidades. Então, eu acredito muito nessa parceria, na possibilidade que nós temos ao iniciar o trabalho e as atividades com a TRAI, com a TRAI, e realmente foi uma grande honra estar ali e sentir um pouco desse movimento na Turquia durante o AI Summit.
Right. Hi, Halil.
Okay.
Great to see you. Yeah.
So, hi, Fernando. Hi, Luca. Hi, Vivian. And hello to all the listeners. Thank you very much for inviting.
Yes.
Good morning, Halil.
Thank you. Good morning.
Okay, so let's switch to English now. Our guest has joined the room, and I'd like to extend a warm welcome. I'm Viviane Ramoni, CMO at I2AI, and your host. Welcome to I2AI X TRAI Live Roundtable and Estratégica Cooperation. Today we'll present partnerships, objectives, governance, and workstreams, and discuss practicals, collaboration across R&D, upskillings, and pilot projects. Please post your questions in English in chat, and I will integrate a few into a discussion. With that, I'd like to invite Mr. Halil Aksu to quick us of a brief self-introduction and a concise overview of Turkey's innovation and AI landscape.
Thank you, Vivian, and my pleasure to be together with you in this webinar. My name is Halil. I was born and raised in Germany to a Turkish family. I moved back to Istanbul when I was 25 years old. Now half of my life was in Germany, the second half is mostly in Turkey. But I became a management consultant, and especially in the context of technology, I worked at big technology companies, became executive in these companies, and then when I turned 40, I decided to leave my corporate career, my professional career, and become an entrepreneur. And now I have two main activities. One is Digitopia, which is a global software company working in the field of digital transformation and AI, and helping companies to succeed with their digital transformation and AI transformation. And the second reason why I'm here, and which this webinar is about, is the hype around AI, and we hopefully will build a bridge. And this is for us like the kickoff meeting of our partnership between I2AI and TRAI. So I'm representing the Turkish AI initiative, and you guys are the Brazilian AI initiative. And with COVID, the whole world turned into these webinars. Otherwise, we would meet either in Brazil or in Turkey or somewhere else on the planet. Now we're meeting on these online screens. So I'm very passionate about technology in general. I'm also very optimistic about technology. I believe that technology is improving our life conditions. They call it the human condition, basically. Technology contributes to civilization. Since the Stone Age, since we've invented the first tools, we've invented continuously new tools, and we've not killed each other, the majority of us using these tools for good purposes. And I believe that AI will be another great tool, like the printing press, like the combustion engine, like the steam engine, like the internet, like the microchip, like GPS. AI will help us to solve many important problems, And with all the other technologies, AI definitely will also bring new challenges and new problems with it as well, like the energy for AI and all the fake news and all the other difficulties and challenges AI is bringing with it. But in general, I think the opportunities and the positive sides by far outweighs the challenges. And as I said, I'm very optimistic that AI will become the most important technology of this century. And with AI, we will solve the most important challenges of this century. And I am a strong believer that the next century, the 22nd century, will be a much better century than this one. And we will live in a world of abundance with very cheap energy, probably for free, with very high quality food. We will never be sick. We will be very healthy. We will live very long and happy lives. And hopefully we will not need to work as much as we do today, and will still earn good money and even more money. And we will maybe not need so much money because many things will be for free, because there will be abundance. And we will also figure out how to govern all these things, our life on this planet and beyond this planet, and also how we will govern AI for a good purpose. And that shall be enough for the first introduction. But I'm quite excited about AI, and probably also in the light of this webinar, I'm also super excited about this collaboration between Brazil and Turkey, and hopefully we can build a tangible, not just an intentional, but a real bridge between Brazil and Turkey, and learn from each other and support each other, and make an example that time difference and a big ocean is not a barrier to collaborate between good people with good intentions and good hearts and good minds, and create good vibes, positive vibes for the betterment of this planet. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much, Halil. One, I think, first question for us, I think everybody here is curious because not so much people knows about Turkey and Middle East and so on. Could you say about how is the Turkey ecosystem when related to innovation, artificial intelligence, and also for TRAI? And if you can also say some words about the other connections, maybe in Southeast and Asia. How is this connections that Turkey and you have? Would be a great thing for us to know.
Thank you, Jeff. Great question. Yes, so Turkey is about 85 million population, so it's 40% of Brazil. From a surface, I think it's much smaller than Brazil, but Turkey was always a big nation and a big country since the Ottomans. So this place there's history for the last 5,000 years. There was civilization, people here, and it was always a bridge between Europe and Asia. So the Silk Road is the most famous one, of course. All the goods from the East, like ink, like gunpowder, like silk, like spices, they came on the Silk Road from Afghanistan, India, China, Japan, and they came to the harbors of Istanbul. Back then it was called Constantinopolis, and from there it was shipped to the European palaces by the Venetian people and the Genoesian people, and this still exists. So Turkey is a big crossroads for civilizations and for cultures, and today Istanbul, especially where I'm sitting right now, is literally the border between the two continents. So there is the Strait of the Bosphorus. For those people who've been to Istanbul, they, I'm sure, saw the Bosphorus, probably did a ship tour on the Bosphorus. We have 3 bridges now and 1 tunnel crossing Asia and Europe, and you can go from Europe to Asia and come back within a few hours, depending on the traffic situation. But with a boat, it's 5 minutes to cross the Bosphorus, basically, or 5 to 10 minutes. and there is this culture of trades. And I know the Portuguese and the Brazilian people and the Latin American people are very strong in naval and marine trading and international relations as well, of course. And I think the roads have crossed many times in history. So after the technology revolution, let's say in the 80s and 90s, and with the inception of the internet, Turkey became a very strong nation in Europe mostly, because of I think in Europe Turkey is not directly part of the European Union, but it's a close ally. It's a NATO ally as well, and therefore we are very well connected to the European countries like Germany, France, Spain, Great Britain, and so forth, and working very closely. So this has improved the infrastructure, which is important. That's the reason why I'm kind of started from the very basic layers, because I think AI is a new layer on top of the internet, the infrastructure, and the application layer. So what we did started in 2017, 8 years ago in May. I worked with my own consulting company, and as I said, I'm since 30 years in this field. AI is much older, as you know. The first time AI was mentioned was in 1956, but AI really took center stage after deep learning was invented. Reinforcement learning was invented in 2012. AlphaGo beat the Go algorithm in 2016. And then all you need is attention. The transformer paper article came out in 2017. OpenAI was founded in 2015, but it was just a small institute, basically, doing a lot of research. Google published that transformers paper, the T in the GPT, basically, in 2017. And exactly in 2017, before that paper was published, I decided to start the Turkish AI initiatives with a group of friends, all in the technology industry. We've conducted a workshop. It was a Saturday, actually, and we've invited about 60 people from 8 different participant groups: private sector, public sector, NGOs, academics, startups, technology companies, media, and so forth. We did a one-day workshop, and at the end of the day workshop, we've decided that AI is the most important trend for the foreseeable future, and we need to do something. And that something turned into the Turkish AI initiative. I'm now the kind of the leader and the founder of that. We have a dedicated team. We have now more than 1,000 participants. There's like in 2017 we started to do an inventory of everybody who is engaged in AI. Back then, we only had 12 startups in 2017. We had 5 companies. It was 3 banks, 1 telecom operator, and 1 retailer who had an AI team internally already in 2017. And there were about, I would say, 25 or 30 academics who were dedicatedly researching and working on neural networks and machine learning back then. But then all of a sudden, we started to conducting meetups every month. That was one of the decisions when we started the Turkish AI initiative, and we curated the program. Basically, we invited 5 to 6, sometimes 7 speakers on a certain topic. It can be AI in a certain industry. It can be like the infrastructure of AI, or certain algorithmic categories like machine learning or deep learning or something. But we always were focused mostly on the private sector. So a few months later, we decided to run a summit, and ever since we're doing a big summit. We did it just on 23rd of October, and we decided in our preparation for this webinar next year, we hopefully will make you come to our summit, and hopefully I can come to your summit, and we can exchange ideas and do much more other things. Today, I said in 2017, we had 12 startups. Today, we have 419 startups in Turkey, and all of them are very active. I would say a third of them are funded. A quarter of them do international business, have offices somewhere else, and are growing quite quickly. I would say, again, 10% are maybe scale-ups of this, so they are already 3 million, 5 million, and beyond revenues. And the whole ecosystem, I would say, surpasses billions of dollars already. So the government has decided in 2021 to create the national AI strategy document. They are now updating and publishing a new strategy. And so we became the central organization connecting everybody with everybody, continuing our events, doing also company-specific webinars, doing a lot of social media and content creation. We have a very active blog. We have very active YouTube channel. We have a very active Instagram account where hundreds of thousands of people following these accounts because we create a lot of content, and many of them are visual content. We do a lot of interviews with people who are working in the field of AI, podcasts, interviews, and then also a lot of events. And that helps us to foster the ecosystem and build the community. So today I can proudly say that we are in touch with more than 1,000 different stakeholders. Half of them are the startups, half of them are mostly private sector and academicians. We are running many events. I myself became a keynote speaker. I'm invited to boards twice a week. So I'm speaking about AI every week in boardrooms 2 or 3 times actually. So that was the reason why I'm late. I just arrived from another important meeting. So the audience keeps me quite busy, thankfully, and it's going great. And because of course it's not only our success. AI has become hype. Of course, we started before ChatGPT, 2017, right? And when ChatGPT was launched, everybody became interested in AI, and then it peaked, it skyrocketed basically. We've doubled our activities every year, and you see a few books in my background on this side. So this shelf here are all my books on big data, on IT, on digital transformation. I've not written about AI yet, no time, and nobody's reading too much anymore. Everybody's asking ChatGPT. So I don't know if there is a need to write a book on AI, and everything is changing so fast. Every week there is something new. So I'm afraid if I would write something, it would be obsolete in a few months. So I'm not sure what can be written about AI because nobody knows what Sam Altman or Elon Musk will announce next week. And it's very exciting. So the AI ecosystem is really, at the moment in Turkey, is super vibrant. The government is supporting it. Private sector invests like crazy. I said we've started with 5 businesses, 3 banks, 1 telecom operator, and 1 retailer. Today, we have more than 100 companies actively working with us. So they're members of the Turkish AI community. It's all industries now, from manufacturing to defense, from agriculture to retail, from e-commerce to banking, from insurance to logistics. It's all kinds of businesses, and we are providing them education, we are providing them consulting, we are providing them events and learning and networking. We've established a venture capital arm, so we're investing now in startups. So every year, basically during the last 8 years, we added a new capability almost every year. And I'm sure this will happen in Brazil as well. Already you have certain capabilities. You're also a huge economy and a very emerging, fast-growing economy. And I'm really looking forward to learn from your experiences as well.
Wow, that's impressive, Halil, and it's very nice to see how in few years. So you are talking about 2017, so more or less the same time where I2AI was created as well. But there is an impressive path that you have been able to achieve so far, and I truly believe that there is a large room for collaboration, for cooperation, for learning between each other. We have things here, you have things there, and there are the same kind of demands, the same kind of problems to be solved. And I also truly happy to be starting this partnership with the Turkish AI initiative. I think that there is one point that I would like to cover, and that you have covered during the AI Summit as well, and I think is very interesting to share with our audience, is about the report that you run every year. I think it is a very good moment to understand the demands, understand what the market is waiting for, so the initiative can deliver to the market. And I think that this could be one of the explanations for the reasons you have achieved so much in so few years.
Thank you, Fernando. Yeah, what actually the report, we have multiple reports actually. So one I think you're referring to is the overall state of affairs, the overall national AI situational report. We also just published, we conducted for the last 3 months, AI usage report. You're all probably familiar with the very famous and unpopular MIT report saying 95% of all AI investments kind of fail.
Yep.
Generative AI, it's not really failures, it's not going into production. They're good experiments, so to speak. It's all about learning, basically. But 95% obviously is a very big number. We just did in our research, looked at do the companies have an AI strategy? Do the companies have an AI team? Do they have an AI leader? And then what are their investments in traditional AI, generative AI, and agentic AI? And only 37% of companies have an AI strategy or something like an AI strategy. Half of the companies have a team, but it's only 1 or 2 people, not bigger than that. So it's part of the IT organization usually. And the other half has not a team or is just planning to establish a team. There's and then like 40% have traditional AI projects. 50%, half of the companies have some sort of generative AI project, but this usually is the usage of ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot, not much more than that. And only very few have agentic AI projects, the majority still. So agentic AI obviously is very new, and only, I would say, 10% started. We are planning to translate the report into English. We are happy to share that report. We're doing an annual workshop every year with the key stakeholders. So every year we are publishing another report. Very lately, because of the risk, we published an AI risk report as well. So we do a fair amount of research and then publishing them, the findings as reports. I think there could be some learning, and we can leverage what we are doing and what you are doing back and forth, and create a bridge of knowledge exchange, of knowledge sharing, and we can translate it to your language and your reports to our language and share the opinion. I think from what we also do, what my professional other business is the maturity assessment, Digitopia, and I think there we want to collaborate as well. We can share with you our maturity assessment methodology for digital and for AI. We already, I think, in the preparation again for this webinar, we're working with some coffee farmers already, in Brazil, and we want to collaborate with you in measuring some companies' digital and especially also AI maturity. Of course, we have a very powerful platform to doing this, and this could create also the benchmark of the Brazilian economy in terms of AI maturity. And when we correlate the maturity with business performance like growth or export or employment and life standards, I think we can prove together that AI is advancing and improving the economy and creating its own economy for itself. So I would definitely, I'm an ex-consultant, so I love doing research. I love working with companies and talking to teams and executives. So this would be definitely my personal priority, and I'm very happy to come to Brazil and meet you in person and join your events and hopefully can add value and learn from your experiences. But that's a great question, Fernando. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I'm glad that you have mentioned it, the Digitopia initiative and the AI maturity index methodology that you have created. By the way, I have 6 companies which are already interested in doing that. And I know that it is a free assessment. So I was in an event a few weeks ago. I have introduced it, the maturity index, and they are interested in doing that. So it is a way to start. And also, I'm pleased to say that we are finalizing the translation to Portuguese and Spanish of the Turkey AI survey that you have done in October. And we are one of the first deliverables that we are going to have in our partnership is definitely that one, where we are going to disclose and distribute to the Brazilian society the results of the Turkey report. And this could be used as an example or benchmarking on how to do that together during the beginning of next year. So then definitely would be a good and important source of information for us to promote what is going to be done together with you in the next years.
Thank you very much. Yes, absolutely looking forward to do that as soon as possible. And I'm glad to hear you have already 6 companies interested in doing that. Whenever you need my support, I'm at your disposal anytime.
Halil, good morning. I am Luca, and I very happy and impressed with big numbers of TR. Tell me the secret. Tell me the secret. How are you winning people, hearts, and the minds for engagement and the participation? Almost 50 million people training, almost 1,000 chairpersons and the stakeholder engagement.
Yes.
How the secret?
Oh, thank you, Luca. Well, I think it's first of all we all have, as you are, smiling faces. So I think the people perceive us very positively. What we started doing in raising the awareness was always touching the people. So we said we will provide you education, raising the awareness. That was our first goal. And then we started with small teams like 10 people, 20 people, and they were educated on AI. Sometimes it's just a one-day crash course or a one-day seminar, half-day seminar sometimes, and they liked it. And then they said, oh, our HR people should listen to this as well. Our top management should listen to this as well. And we did a lot of seminars, so thousands of seminars actually since 2017. And were invited back, and we turned this into a subscription. We created online versions of this, as you just did a few minutes ago, taking pictures. So we were taking pictures of these webinars. We're sharing this on social media, and mentioning the people. And then people commented on this, and more people saw it, and more people invited us. They call it the flywheel, right? The more value we've added, the better content we created, and the more people we touched, they referred us back to some other people. And I would say, me personally, as I said, every week, twice at least. So 2 times every week, that makes hundreds. And we have like 5-6 tutors and consultants in our team, and they're equally busy. So every week they're giving like 2, 3, 4 different seminars. So I would say we do at least 100 seminars every week. 10 every week, and multiplied by 50 weeks, that makes 500 seminars, and in average about 50 to 100 people attending. Sometimes we have speaking in big halls, sometimes it's 1,000 people, sometimes it's even more. So the numbers add up, and we've not really counted it. It's an estimation, but I think we've touched really 500,000 people at least, because we go to high schools and universities, we go to elderly homes, we speak everywhere, because everybody is interested in AI. Everybody wants to learn about AI. And so, and then we're sharing these things on social media channels. We have a team for that. We have two guys looking after the social media in our team. We have 2 people looking after the ecosystem, so dedicatedly inventorizing the startups, talking to all universities. And Jeff, I forgot to mention, you asked about the external connection. So Brazil is not our first partner country. We are talking with the UK, with Germany, with Canada, with Singapore, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Azerbaijan, a few countries in the Balkans, Italy, France, Monaco even. So big or small, in different parts of the world, we already have established, because AI is on the radar of everybody. And there's similar groups like I2AI or TRAI. In every country, there is a group like this of crazy people like your guys and us. And we find them by traveling there or on the internet, and we touch base with them like we did with you. And then sometimes we fit together, sometimes not. But I have a very positive feeling already since the very first introduction. A mutual friend connected us, and since the very first meeting, it was very positive and very pleasant, and we are very much aligned. We do very similar things, and I think with continuing having smiling faces and adding value to the people, being honest and creating quality content, we will multiply these numbers. Luca, don't worry, the numbers will be 10x in 2 years, 3 years. Don't worry. Everybody's excited about AI.
Okay.
No, very, very good. And we expect that maybe in the end of next year, you ask for Luca, what the miracle in Brazil, what you are doing here.
Absolutely. I'm sure about that.
Halil, can break the protocol, Vivian. It's okay? Okay. Halil, in this moment, Brazil is hosting for COP3. You mentioned the question about energy.
Yes.
How do you see Brazil as a partner and the solution as the world's largest powerhouse in the renewable and the clean energy in this moment?
I think you're energy-rich country and you're a big country. Actually, you're also the lung of the world, right? So with the rainforest, which is one of the important reasons, and I think you selected a place next to the rainforest for the COP conference. So good luck with that. I have heard there are not enough beds for all the people coming there. I hope you found places for them. But I think big nations like Brazil, like Turkey, are important alternatives to the United States and to Canada and some other places to establish new capacities. the world will need more capacity for AI. I saw today just Google announced an investment in Turkey today to build a new data center in Turkey. You will have, during 2026, I'm sure Brazil will have, I would say, at least 5, maybe 10 announcements of data center investments, from OpenAI to Google, from Microsoft to IBM, and local companies as well. You're a very innovative company. I think Vivian had posed a question: how does Brazil look from outside, right? And you have Embraer, you have Nubank, you have very innovative companies who are worldwide known. Even I know them. Never been to Brazil. My bad. Excuse me. We'll change that very, very soon, hopefully. But there's so much innovation, and not only in business, also in other areas. And of course, I was a big fan in Formula One, and my all-time hero, of course, is Ayrton Senna. And there is much more also when you look at football and many other areas. So I think Brazil is very innovative and a very famous country for its life spirit, right? Is very, very lively, high energy and high excitement, and I think the world needs this. We don't need boring people. We need colorful and exciting people, and I think Brazil can add a lot of good energy to the creativity in the world. And in that regard, I think I personally and Türkiye as well will learn a lot from all that great achievements in Brazil.
Okay, now
Amazing.
Now we had a question from somebody in the chat. Lindolfo said, "Good point. Without a truly prepared team, the chance of success is not high. In companies where there are adequate teams for AI initiative, what have the results been like? Already have any numbers?" This is the question. The golden question.
Yes, difficult to answer. So, but let me try to understand correctly. Without a truly prepared team, you say, that you have the answer in your question already built in.
Yeah, they said that without, is this the affirmative? Without a truly prepared team, the chance of success is not high. Point. This is the affirmative of Lindolfo. So he asked you, in company where there are adequate teams for AI initiatives, what have the results been like? Already have any numbers?
Yes, we have. The biggest numbers come from the banks, actually. The banks have strong teams, and they have a lot of data, and they are already digitally very mature. They are doing AI projects in the context of pricing, of risk assessment, of credit scoring, also in the context of customer analytics, of course, understanding the customer segmentation, profiling, personalization. There are about 4 or 5 different national LLM projects going on in the local language, in Turkish. So banks, the telecom operator, one of the 3 big telecom operators. So we have Turkish Telecom, then there's a mobile operator named Turkcell, and there's Vodafone in Türkiye. So they have big projects in terms of network optimization, again, customer segmentation, and many, many other areas. So these organizations, big banks and telecoms and e-commerce players, they have an IT organization of more than 1,000 people. So they're really big, and I'm sure the big banks in Brazil are not different. So I've used to work at Gartner, a global consulting company. So we know the big banks and the big telecom operators and the big retailers and the big e-commerce players. They have huge teams. They spend a lot of time and money on technology. So they are the most mature companies. As I said, we are measuring digital and AI maturity of these companies. So I know for a fact how mature banks and telecom operators are. they also invested a lot in talent, and they also invested a lot in training the people, the existing people. So they have the money, they have the data, they have the compute capacity, and they also have the problems, like the use cases for AI. But if you don't have the right team, you have to build it. So what does it mean? There are two options, basically. There are three options, actually. You either hire people, the right people, or you train and educate the existing people, or you work with the ecosystem, with startups and system integrators. So, and good companies do all the three of them. So you have to educate the existing people, you also hire experts, and you also collaborate with the ecosystem. And that's actually where Turkish AI is a great source. What we're doing is, I give you a simple example, and then I come back to Lindolfo's great question also to the value of what the results are, because we're measuring the results as well. So we go into a company and do a very simple thing, which is a half day or full day use case discovery workshop. So it's like a brainstorming workshop with a certain team. Sometimes it's finance, sometimes it's marketing, sometimes it's HR, sometimes it's IT, and we bring the right people. We have big whiteboards, we have a lot of post-its, and we ideate the use cases where the problems are, and then we filter them. We prioritize them. What is the most important problem? Pricing, optimization, demand forecasting, churn prediction, and these kind of things. And then we say, okay, so do you have the data? Yes or no? Do you have the internal capacity? Yes or no? And if the answers are, depending on the answers, basically, we introduce them, because we have this ecosystem of 419 different startups. We introduce them with the right startups. By the way, the reason why we are connecting with international parties like yourself is sometimes that startup is not available in Turkey, but it's available in Brazil, and vice versa. So, and we will hopefully will do that with I2AI. So if I have a use case at a bank, at a retailer, at the e-commerce, at a manufacturing company, and I'll say, okay, we have 419 startups in Türkiye, but they can't fix this problem. There's a very specific problem. So I would like to send this request to you, and you check your startups, your ecosystem, and tell me, okay, here is this startup in Brazil, and they did this at the e-commerce player here. I would like to introduce them to you. So we're building a bridge between your startups and our startups, between our companies and your startups. And this works already. We're doing this with Germany, with Great Britain, with Canada, for example, and sometimes we're sending our startups over there, sometimes your startups coming over here, and this is the most popular way we are adding new capacity to these companies. Lindolfo, coming back to a question, and then at the beginning of the project, we're saying, okay, what is your performance currently? Let's say the NPS score, the net promoter score with your customer satisfaction is like 68. And then they're looking for personalization and customer segmentation. And we introduce them to 3 startups. They do POCs with them. They like one. They will start working with them. And 6 months later, we measure the net promoter score again. And it says, instead of 68, it says 75. And for those people in the audience who know about customer satisfaction and NPS and so forth, that means you're earning more money with the same customers because they're becoming more loyal. And then we're measuring customer loyalty and revenue increase and profitability increase and customer acquisition cost and so forth, and can be very specific about the business value of that AI solution. So that's the reason we are now planning during 2026, and we can share that methodology with you as well. We're trying to calculate the economic impact of AI on the Turkish economy. So what are the startups creating value? What are the companies creating value? How big is the AI economy in Turkey? and then we can share that same methodology, and you can do the same exercise in Brazil. And since we are both also part of the BRICS organization, we can probably share that learning with the BRICS countries and provide them a benchmark for the different countries. And then we say, AI economy per capita, and can, try to find a good KPI, how to grow the AI economy.
Great. So, Halil, I think we would like to have a lot of questions, I think, to discuss with you. But today is just beginning of this partnership. Yeah, for sure. The next weeks, we are working in the potential of the activities. For example, for agriculture, Brazil, immense for health, education. There's so many ways to go. We need to discuss with you how to go, but we are very optimistic with that. For sure, we will have another sections with you and share with the public, and for sure we want to make come true your visit here in Brazil. Yeah, we like to have this during the next year. So we're very happy with that, but unfortunately we need to close the section. Then I'll give to Viviane the last words to finish. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Viviane, please.
Okay, thank you everyone who joined us today on behalf of I2AI and TRAI. I would like to thank you, our speakers, for the insights and our audience for those questions. Like Halil said, let's build bridges to our ecosystems can bring solutions to others. As next steps, we will publish a short cooperation brief outline on governance models and first workstream, and we will announce a focus skills track for productions, data, and compliance leaders. So stay involved, please visit our website and follow I2AI and TRAI on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and our other social channels. I'm Viviane Ramoni, CMO at I2AI. Thank you again for being with us. We look forward to build this cooperation together. So see you soon.
Obrigado.
Thank you.